Ben Hatchett, Let's Be Real TV, sponsored by Terrace Colt. Welcome to Let's Be Real with me, Ben Hatchett. Today, a guest I've been looking forward to having on. We've had a bit of a drama this morning. This is the different kind of intro. Uncle Fish, what's going on, my brother?
Oh, mate, what's going on? He's absolute loon. That's what's going on. He sent me in the middle of nowhere. That's what's going on. 290,000 miles in the middle of space. You don't see black people. What's it called? Ashford and Kent. There's no black people down here. They all think I've got a tattoo.
He told me about 2 minutes, about 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, I'm about 3 minutes away. You know what I mean? 3 hours later.
How are you,
no,
son?
That's good.
Yeah,
good
to see you.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming. We got a mutual friend as well, haven't we? In Nick's. That's how
I ain't got no friend. I ain't got no friend. Yeah, Tommy Sands, the little baby. God, my little baby. Yeah. God bless him.
Obviously, no. So making the link out, there was another guy on Insta put us together. I've seen. Obviously, you got a story. We've both been behind. So I thought. Getting us on and share some stories now. It's a bit different with the podcast. A lot of the things is I've done a lot of podcasts, you've done a lot of podcasts.
I ain't done a lot of podcasts. I'm a friend of your famous. He's got celebrities and everything. All I've got interviewing me is the police. Scotland Yard have asked for the next one now.
Well, this podcast is going to be different. I'm thinking we're out there. People know our stories. So I think about just bouncing off each other a little bit, talking a bit more on that, mate. So, let's go back then. Let's go back. So if people don't know, I'm sure they do anyway, we are in the same circles. Tell us about yourself, Fish, like, do you know what I mean, growing up, and this, that, the other.
Well, Crash, you know, I'm going to make a book of something. What it is, I was a peanut first. I'm still a peanut now, do you know what I mean? But Crash, how's your father, which is a common full stop. Ben, to be honest, I was a good boy. My parents came from Africa, and I was born in Chelsea. But I used to go to public school in Basingstoke. Then I came back from public school and went to a primary school at the age of 11, 12. And then I went to comprehensive school. Remember, I was well spoken, well educated. So comprehensive school was far beneath me, do you know what I mean, intellectual wise. And I also used to get bullied, so I had to play the clown.
I got bullied. I can see a lot of people see us as like crooks or tough people, Borman and all that lot. I come from a bully background as well myself. Yeah. So I didn't know that. No.
Mate, I mean, I can do that now and I can tear now, mate. But when I was at school, and all up until 18, which I'll explain, I couldn't fight nothing. And Mum and Dad were very harsh disciplinarians, you know, and so that took its toll on me as well. I'm not really allowed that, so I used to sneak out and then try and sneak back in. And my other brother, the younger one who's just died 5 months ago, he Crash used to look after me and tell me what was going on. So for me, I mean, growing up, I was good. Does that make sense to you? I was in school. But in school, you know, then I had to play the clown, so I set one geezer's arse alight on the chair, doing anything to make people laugh. One day, like I said, a metalwork teacher threw a spanner at me, and I threw it back at him because, I just anything to make them, the kids laugh.
Was that like your defence man? Is that like your defence man?
Yeah, acting the clown. And Crash, how's your father? What happened was, the kids would all laugh, so they'd leave me alone. Does that make sense to you? And then...
so it'd be like, he's right, he's a laugh, give him a pass. So.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I had a guy there called Ray Ball. And Ray was very similar to yourself. We were the same build, me and old Ben here. And I used to hide behind Ray, this cool guy, Ray Ball. And Ray wouldn't let the others out. I was always his shadow. Do you know what I mean? And, as I said in one of the other podcasts, you lot have seen Rastafarians and dreads. Well, mate, I come from Basingstoke, And as I said in an earlier podcast, the only other black people in Basingstoke are sheep. You know what I mean? So when you come down to fucking London and you see these Rastafarians, you do actually think Predator's real. Do you know what I mean? Shitting myself, and especially when they're putting you. So like, crash out your father, Ben. Stop laughing. It's serious.
I'm being serious. Fuck, I can do these podcasts. I knew this was going to be fucking different, innit?
Yeah, come on, kid. So crash out your father. Yeah. So I couldn't really fight Ben and all that. And then what really got me into fighting. Like I said, there were two. I was in South London, on the way to you coming through there, ready for the castle. And what happened was they threw fireworks and that under the subway. But as I said, I was a good boy. I didn't really do all that. And then they were throwing fireworks. As we came up from the subway onto the street, two policemen pulled us aside, and they said to the two mates I was with, one was called Patrick Williams and one was called Robert Williams, and crash, how's your father? The police said, are you brothers? And they said no. And so the police said to them, are you married? And they started laughing. But in them days, you got to remember, 84, 85, 86, there was a lot of racial tension around. You got to remember the riots were all there. So
was it around the same time as the riots? When was the
riots?
Oh yeah. Before my time. When was it?
No, about 86 as well. 86, 88, yeah, all that time. But there was a lot of tension. The racism was still fully in depth and embedded in the police and the country as a whole. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was there. So when they laughed, I thought, well, I better laugh because I don't want them to think, which I wasn't like anti-police or anything or nothing like that then. And crash, I laughed. And then they smashed the fuck out of me. And so, like, as I said to people, from then on, I was always like good, but from that day on, my mum would give me harsh punishment and my dad, and then the police give me, and that was it. From that moment, I switched and I turned into Psychopaths Anonymous.
First fight? What was your first fight? First time you hit back. What was the first time you hit
Okay, well, here we are. Okay, just good, isn't he good? So anyway, crash out.
I'm different, innit? I'm different.
So crash out your father, yeah? I don't know if I say first fight. I'll have to, I'll do it this way. Is it, can I do, yeah? Okay, crash out your father. So anyway, I've started doing Lagar. I started doing Taekwondo. So, because I thought, right, fuck it, Ben, I don't know what happened to you. I mean, right, F it. I don't care who they are, what they are, where they come from, how big they are, who they know, how many of them. From now on, if someone puts their hand on me, it's on. I don't care what they got in their hands, what they know, it's on. I just went, and you know what, Ben? If it moved, I fucking hit it. I was just off it. And I just started carrying everything. And the first, you asked for the first, what happened was, are you asking for the first fight when I really got nicked kind of thing, Ben?
No, your first time, like you said, like from me, I remember being bullied, and I remember like the first time that I hit a kid back. I know the first time I thought I'm fighting back, yeah, and I remember that time. Do you remember the first time when you said that, fuck it, like I'm not having it? Do you remember the first time you hit that first person?
That is pucker, Ben, because
you ain't been asked that, have you?
No, but I can't. See, the problem is, I've had so many tear-ups and I've done so many skitty things, skitty after thing. Sorry, I apologise. After things I can't remember. Like, I've got pals coming up and go, oh, Fish, do you remember this? I go, what? I go, yeah, when you put the gun to the geezer, and I'm going, what? It's like a loaf of bread, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's really, I mean, I was fighting everything, Ben. I was fighting on the street. I had a fight and a geezer chased me down the road with two knives, knocked him out. I had a fight on a bus. A geezer got on a bus once, Ben. I'm in a baseball cap, and I look skinny. You know, like when I'm not all suited and booted, I look like a fucking 15-year-old, yeah? So crash out your father. I'm on the bus, and all I've heard is, Ben, I swear, my mother lied, Ben, I swear. Because I'm black the way I am, I don't really see racism. Does that make sense? I've experienced it in the prisons and the court. But to be on a bus, and this big lump was behind me, Ben, yeah? And I look at him, I see him go, no, I mean, looking back
so
now.
Is that digging out? He's digging out. That's
He thought I was a young black kid.
Yeah.
So he's going monkey sodding.
I'm with it now, I'm with it.
Yeah, sorry, kid. So he's making racist signs, like jungle signs, and he tried like, I learned that off him, you know. It's good. So what happened, Ben, what I've done...
Is it still... what time roughly is this? Is this still like
this
early?
is what this is when you're talking about first fight, so I'm trying to give you...
So there's still a lot of racial tension at this sort of time. I'm with you.
But what I'm trying to also give you in this kind of... I'm trying to say to Benny here, like, Crash, like, all the fights... He's asked me about the first time, so I'm trying to say all the fights that I did have before, you know, I got there. So these are all the things that were kind of going on. Yeah. And so I got up, I see him, he went like that, Ben. I pissed myself laughing off. So I've gone and sat next to him, Ben. So you're the geezer. I've sat next to him, and he's a lump, and he's looking out the window, and I'm like that, looking at him, and he's going like, Ben. He's looking at me like, So I'm going, make your fucking noises now, So I said, go on, make your fucking noises now, right? So I've gone crash of it.
On the bus, you get him on the bus.
I'm fucking on the bus. He fucking go to me on the bus. I ain't on the fucking bus, and. The bus conductor was black, man, I had to laugh. He's come up, Crash, And he go, what are you doing? I'm going to call the police, go to the bus. But he didn't know about the racial bit that had happened. But Ben, between me and you, Crash, I never hit the fella for me and being racist. To me, what I hit him for is, what if I was a young black kid on that bus? That means he would have done it to him, and that poor kid would have been shitting himself and living in fear on that button. You know what I mean? Fuck off, mate. You want to be, mate, at least do it to a fucking fella who can have to tear up back. You know what I'm saying? So
that's like, what I'm just taking from that.
Yeah, go on, bro.
That's like the bullying. That's like, that's the emotions that's come from that bullying. I relate to that. Do you get what I'm saying? You're sitting there saying, what if that was someone else? Like, you can relate.
Oh, yeah,
I've been at receiving end, and I think that's why, because when I went off key, like I was saying, we're going to bounce, but it's going to be a bit different. I want to bounce back and forth for you a little bit. When after my first bit of violence, I got a taste for it. And I think, because in the care home, I got it there, and growing up, I got it, and I never used to do it back in that. But when I did it back, and I think, I used to try and target the people who had a bit of a name, who had a bit of reputation. When you crack someone who had a bit of name and all that, I think it's like, you know when you've dug someone out, I've been on that receiving end when you've dug at someone like you're saying, kid on the bus. Why you fucking hit me? Like, he's going, but you know what I mean? I was like, I know. Do you know what I'm saying? So every time, I think that's why I was so game and so sort of more braver, because I just thought...
So let me ask you something. I love this podcast, because this podcast is going to be me interviewing him and him interviewing him.
This is different.
So crash out your phone. Let me ask you something. We'll try and be serious for 1 minute. So, you know, you got bullied and all that. So you love fighting, So did fighting become? Did you start to enjoy it? Were you loving it, like fighting? Was it your escape?
The truth is, I did. I got a taste for it. I think once I first hit that lad, and then it was like the name. I was a scruffy kid. I was a scrawny kid. I come from the care. Didn't have money, and people took the piss, and that's me. And that's me being real. And I think once I hit that guy, and I started mixing with guys in the town who had reputation, not like you was hanging around that big lad.
Wait, stop. Hit me, man. What was your first fight?
I remember it. I remember it.
When you were only young and you're fucking senile, I got dementia and I keep forgetting to mention it.
I remember it was where I lived in Langley.
In Langley.
So Eastbourne. I live in the south coast. Okay. So I'm the kid. I'm not organised crime. That's not my thing. I'm just a kid from
organised crime. I'm not even organised again. Go on.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people on the scene, and all that eye up and all that. I'm just a kid from a council estate, from a seaside town, who's just got a mad fucking story. But my first time, and I remember I had enough of this one lad, and I had enough of him.
Why? Don't leave the viewers in suspense. Why?
I kept getting beaten fucking up, and one guy's all
beaten up for what? No, for what?
Just fucking, I don't know. I didn't know. Like, I don't know what it was about me. I just sort of way I come across. And this is why I always felt different, alienating it to people. I didn't feel like I could commute. I didn't know if I was writing it. Like, I didn't really could make friends easier. I felt
That's how you are, isn't it?
I couldn't mix. I was like an alien. I couldn't mix with no one, bro. And I just remember this one kid just fucking irritating, man. I thought, and I met this guy with a bit of reputation in town.
Yeah.
And I bumped into him. He sort of showed me a bit of like, what are you saying? And we went in a shop and he robbed a bit of shop. And I thought like I'm a bit cool now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right, so you got.
not like robbing like that. I mean like robbing like sweets and shit.
Listen, crime's crime. It doesn't matter whether you're an arm robber or not. That's not what it's about. The game's the game. We're talking about life. Let's go.
I've just done something. I robbed a bit of shop. I think I might have fucking Pokemon cards or something. I don't know about that. I was hanging out with him and we walked through the town and bare people showing him a bit of respect. I was sat there, mate.
Yeah.
And then when I was with him, I was like, oh, you alright, bro?
So you fucking good.
I was like, they're not looking to take the piss. They're like, you know, I was like, oh, I like this. And actually, I met him another time and I see him bang on kids. I see him bang some guy out and I thought, and then, do you know what I mean? It was just sort of that. And when I went back to Langley and I knew I was getting a fucking difficult time then, there's one guy, I thought, do you know what? I'm not having it. I knew he was up by the church. Well, that's where it's out. Like, it's not a church, but it's outside. It's like where a park is, the church, and that's where everyone used to sort of sit. And I thought, you know what? I was in the flat. We lived in the flats around the corner, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna punch this kid in his face. I did. I went right up there. I walked up by myself, and I thought, because in my head I just thought I could either get that bit what he's got. Like that, the other guy, the bit of respect and all that.
Crash out your phone,
yes. All these people could just keep taking a fucking piss. I had it in another area and I moved school and I thought, you know what? I went right up and he was sitting there and I fucking uppercutted him. I just went up, uppercutted him and he jumped inside. Everyone was shocked, like, you know, Ben's in, like, and we got into it a little bit. But my adrenaline was going, I felt so I felt so good after.
No, but it's funny, you know, like when you do have your first fight. See, when you're like us, you're not really fighters. When you do have your fight, the adrenaline kicks in, doesn't it? You love it.
My adrenaline was walking up there. I was walking up there for what am I doing? I was like, I nearly walked back. I knew I couldn't.
But you know what, Ben? That's why I always laugh when people talk about fighters and terror. And I always say to people when you're talking about fighting, when people say to me they can't die or they can't get hurt, I always laugh, And I laugh because what makes us good terrorists or good fighters is the fact we're scared of getting hurt. That's what gives us that electricity, that speed. Do you know what I mean? That's the fear, you know? And that's what you had going up that hill, and that's what makes us good fighters. And, you know, to you, it's not about, when you sit there and you talk to me and you tell me, oh, I'm not into organised this, I'm not into organised that. Well, you got to remember, it's not about that thing. Your story's about life, and there's many people out there in life that need to hear this story that are in the same situation as me and you, that need to progress. And this is where people have to make sure about these podcasts. That's like me. I think my podcast ain't about gangsters. His is not, but it's not about gangsters. My podcast is about life, sharing different people's experiences, sharing the experiences what normal people go through. And that's what we're here for today. It's not to glamorise or indicting. That just happens to be a path that I went on. And me being here with Ben is to explain to you that path. And so, you know, I always have to say with Ben, you know, it used to happen to me, I'm doing 99 years IPP, and it used to annoy me when people, not annoying, but when people do what you're coming to do, they go, oh, I'm only doing 2 months, 3 months. And I used to go, well, listen, how much more do you want to effing do? Do you know what I mean? 2 months is enough, innit? 1 day's enough, do you know what I mean? It's not about whether you're doing 2 months, 90, it's about your story in your life and telling people what happened, and that's why I love what he's doing today. So for me, I understand, and so for me, on the buses and the tearing, I think another thing, Ben, is, and someone brought this up the other day, because I'm gay as well, and the thing is, I was hiding that as well.
Did you always know? When did you know you was gay?
I think when I sat on the vicar's knee at school. I'm joking. Don't start an inquiry. No inquiry. I didn't mean to. I'll never. Do you know what?
Let me tell you something, and I can say this. Do you know what?
You can say it.
I'm going to say this. In Sharmore, I was very let down. There was actually a vicar. No, this is a true story. This is Vicar John. I can't remember his name. And he's in Sharmore and all that. He used to have all the kids around and all that. I thought he was a good guy, and he used to do things for Christmas and all that lot. Turned out, mate, he fucking wanted it. He got a big sentence and all that lot and that and all, mate. He let that whole fucking community down. Fucking sexual crimes with the kids and all that, vicar and all that lot. So it just brings back that as someone he used to run this little church group, right? We used to all go in that, and fucking, and I think, and that brings me into this, I've got to just tangle the two a minute. I think someone had that platform, he had all the kids, the street kids, he had a big platform where he could have made a difference with kids. But what he did, he took sexual advantage as no, and that's why with these platforms, like you're saying, with these stories and that, that's why I take this platform so serious. It's about people that are watching and trying to connect to, and not fucking going in like being negative with the platform. That's why I try bringing people on, and that's why I have to get on, because your energy is great, and it's about people that can watch and can relate and take something from it.
But
do you know what I mean? I've gone in fucking deep there.
No, that's cool. But you've got to remember, people that are in prominent positions, especially with children, especially in the old days, they did. They could, what's the word, make a kid fascinated with them and get involved. And then, like the guy who done the gymnast, the British gymnast, the coach, and other coaches. And it was very well, it was easy to get into children and to kids in them days. And so that era, only now people and kids and everybody have started to wake up so they can back that off. But in the old days, it was prevalent, and but not for me. I'm only joking about it, isn't it? I mean, for me, I'd always, I've always been. I did try to sleep with a girl, but something was missing. Maybe a set of balls.
I was going to say the wrong hole, wasn't it?
I slept with another girl and she was happy to make me come, and I said, that's only because you look like a bloke. And then I went, no, and then the next one I slept with my girlfriend's brother.
You swear that?
Sorry?
You swear that? You slept with your girlfriend's brother?
Yeah, I thought I'd give it a try. No, I'm not trying. Well, he was the first bird, and he was the first gay bloke I met, and so I was.
So you always knew? So you always knew?
People say it's in your genes, and when I look in yours, it obviously is.
That's the cameraman here, Jamie. My cameraman never gets a shout out on his podcast. That is his first shout out.
What's his name? Jamie. Jamie's a gangster.
There you go.
One of my boyfriends was called Jamie.
There you go.
Yeah. He gave me the and he went to Spain.
Jamie's first shout out on the podcast. I love this.
He gave me the and he went to Spain, so I did a Spanish degree to go and chase him. So, hablo español, es aprendo español, en la prison para 3 años, es escribiendo. So when I got out of prison this time and he came back to shake hands and make the peace, he said to me, I said to him, can you speak Spanish? He said, yeah. He said, what, you speak Spanish? I said, yeah. He said, what the fuck do you speak Spanish for? I said, yeah, because I was coming after you. Absolutely fucking loon. So, I've always, but I think at first I was trying to hide it because, it was taboo, didn't really know people involved, and you're a bit young. In fact, you're all fucking young, man. I'm an old relic in here today. Jamie's young, he's young. Well, there used to be a comedian called Dick Henry, and Dick Henry used to have a bag at all, and they were the only kind of gay fellas that were out there, do you know what I mean? And I'm black and gay, and, but we didn't really like today's, when you're gay today, you've got loads of things, ain't you, and everything there. But it's still difficult. People think, oh, yeah, they're right, it's not hard, it's difficult. It's still difficult to be a fat, I call it, I don't care, I'm a faggot gay, I don't care. But, so, I think some of my fight, you're going to laugh now. I think some of my fights, but I used to think someone was looking at me before I was gay, I'd crash it. Don't look at me like that. So I ended up crashing because I think, they know, crash. But it was funny because if I go back a little bit now, so what happened was I learned to fight. You asked my earliest fight. So Crash now as your father, Ben, I started to fight, and like I said to me. So what's happened now? We had a clique, all the, like kids when you're young, we have a great big gang. And what's happened is, we got this gang. We used to go Soulgrave and Magnet Car Hire, and I've said this a bit. So I became in charge, and so because I could tear now, and I was kind of chat, like what you just said. And so I became in charge of the crew. And then, I started, like anybody was in trouble, I'd be fighting their battles and that. And that was really kind of like how I got into the game. And so we had a mate of mine got to about a big fight, and what happened was we all went up to Queensway to have a fight with these fellas because they'd offered one of my mates out. So there was about 300 of us, and we went to Queensway to have this fight. And this was how I got my first nicking. It was all the riots were at the time, Brixton riots. So this is now 86, so the Brixton riots, South, everyone's kicking off, yeah. But they're not like riots what you lot just had while I was in Nick. These are proper
Is this the race riots?
Yeah, these are race. So Crash had your father, Ben. What's happened, yeah? One of the kids, as we got to Queensland, there were about 200 policemen and a line, all the things there, and we're here, over here. And one of my kids has run, but this policewoman's grabbed him. So I was like in charge, and I'm like, well, one for all, all for one. So I've hit her over there with 2 pool balls. She's gone down. 2 other policemen come to nick me, but they see her go down, and they've gone, oh, forget that, do you know what I mean? Like, so I got away, we run, toured back down to Shepherd Bush, which was about 2 miles away. And then that's when we got to Shepherd Bush. A mate of mine, what's happened is, he's see a fella he's had a fight with, so he's grabbed a bottle, yeah, Crash, and what he's done, but as he's grabbed the bottle, Ben, old Bill cars come, yeah? So, old Bill van, now they're going up to Queensway where we've hit this copper, yeah? So obviously it's all kicked off. So they've got my mate, where you see with the bottle, yeah, Ben? They took him in the van, yeah? All I see is the van going like that. And they've thrown him out of the van like he was fucking Superman, do you know what I mean? I pissed myself like... Now what I forgot to just tell you, while we're in Queensway, someone smashed the shop window, Ben, jewellers and all that, yeah? So we've fucking all fucking got the watches in our pockets, yeah? Crash. So when they put me in the van, all they had to do was search him, Ben, and they would go, oi, and then but because they just threw him out, my mate's going, you fucking wangers, you fucking cunt, you fucking this, yeah? And I'm going, Barry, no, the watches. And then they went and fucking robbed the fucking off licence, didn't they? Crash, that was your fucking father. So they robbed the off licence. Then the shopkeepers come out and started beating them up. So I grabbed the baseball, hit him over it. This is on the same fucking day I hit the policeman. So now, when I got nicked for the policeman, they also nicked me for the shopkeeper, and they'd done me for burglary. Oh, I've never done a burglary in my life, do you know what I mean? So that was my first initiation into crime. And,
did you go to jail for that?
Yeah.
How long did you get?
Got 18 months, went to Knightsbridge Crown, got 18 months.
Is it back then, was it 18 months like it is now, do half, or was it you do
no,
the
18? No, 18 months, yeah.
You do the solid 18 months?
Yeah, we did it. I think it
was different, like,
yeah,
I know that now you do
I think you've done a year.
2/3 or something?
Yeah, I think you've done a year, no, it was a bit longer, I'm sure it was a year.
About a year, yeah.
Yeah, they took 6 months off, you know.
Yeah,
Is that 2/3, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
What jail did you go to? What was it?
I went to house. Right, tossed into arse me, innit? Fucking loon. Ashford it was, but not in fucking Kent, it was Ashford in Middlesex. 4.5 hours it took me to get down here, and that's on a motorbike. Fucking loon. He reckons it's halfway from Hastings. He's having a laugh. Fucking anyone invite me to Ashford again, I swear. So anyway, Crash, but like I said, it was like, for me, going to prison was, my escape, the discipline and that was the escape for me. I'm like, yeah, let's do it, like, I got away from my mum and dad, they didn't do nothing bad, it's just I couldn't take the discipline. And so, I got into prison, met a guy called, P. Nichols, I say name, and P. He was a lovely guy like me. He was the guy in the fighter, so he was a good kid, you know what I mean? I was a good kid, really. And then, but them days prison was different, There was you had to, you always had the tie and the shirt, you had the jeans, the hairskins, jackets and trousers on visits day. You had to make your bed pack. the screws were all 6'2", and all had 2-inch. Their elbow, the sleeves rolled up 2 inches just above the 2-inch cut of sleeves, and then just above the elbows. They were all ex-army, all ex-MP, and then they had the slit hats, Ben. I mean, I don't know if you didn't see it now. The slit hats were like that, and they were all like, and it was a different game back then. And you know, one day
the beatings inside.
Sorry?
Did they give out beatings inside?
Oh, mate, listen, mate.
No, there's no cameras in that back there.
Mate. Well, people talk about cameras now. I mean,
there are still got beatings in the Broadmoor.
But give the cameras. Listen. What do cameras do, man? Everyone keeps talking about CCTV. Everybody keeps talking about, CCTV. Listen, cameras don't do nothing. What? Kids die every single day. Kids die every single day. What's the point of cameras? We want something that's going to save your life, not something that's going to watch you die. The cameras don't mean nothing.
Powerful.
Yeah. And also they don't have to. The tape can go missing.
Yeah.
There you go.
That happens to me, Broadmoor.
There you go.
Get on this.
Man.
Geezer called Ruben. I aroused him anyway. Yeah. So I've gone.
Come on, hang on, let's get this right. What's it like in Broadmoor? What's it like? What is the inside like? Is it like a prison? Or what is it like?
It's a prison.
Well, what's the building
It's old
like?
Victorian, 150 years old. So it's old. There's a vibe around it, man. You know, obviously, you know Roy Shaw. I said this on many podcasts. He said the nicest thing I can say about Broadmoor is I survived it, and it is true. Like, I think you lose. In prison, you go across people, you meet with, you click with your lad, you still got your boisterousness in there, you don't know what people are thinking, people can switch, turn you, attack you, because I got a hot water stab because someone thought I was a zombie.
So really what you're saying is like dispersal? Go on, don't worry.
It's a dispersal, but there's lesser people on the wards, because they've got wards not wing, there's lesser people, so there's more staff, they're more on top of your arse, so you can't even dive and have a laugh with your mates. And when you kick off, you get ruffled, they'll stick needles in your ass.
Yeah.
You know, you keep going too further on, they'll do the electric shock treatment. You know, it's very patronising. You're not a man, you're not human in there, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? I haven't said none of this on the podcast before.
Yeah.
You're not equal. You know what I'm saying? You're not fucking equal. And sometimes you'd meet an odd staff or an odd screw and all that, and they'd have a normal conversation. When you've got that, and that's why in my book with Tony Quigley I met in Ashworth, a lot of staff in Ashworth I actually got respect for, because sometimes I had the conversations and it was a normal conversation. I felt like they were talking to me on a level.
Okay.
And then Broadmoor, there's none of that. You're down there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That fucking killed me. Like, I stopped talking to anyone.
Why did you go to Broadmoor? Why did you go to Broadmoor?
Everyone wants to know.
Here we go, enjoy the show. Easy to mic and mine. There we go. Ben Hatchett. Why did you go to Broadmoor? Everyone wants to know. Here we go.
It's all meant to be for the Amazon and all that. Like, you know, it's all meant to be for the Amazon.
What's Amazon?
I'm being filmed for the Amazon Prime movies, isn't I?
What?
Since the day I got out, I'm being filmed for Amazon Prime movies leading up to my fight, which was meant to be November, but it's all dragging on and all that.
Just tell me why you went to fucking Broadmoor about fucking Amazon. I'll burn it down. I'll burn it down. Oh, warehouse has gone up because fish, and that go burn it down, and he won't tell me why he's gone to fucking Broadmoor.
Go on, fuck it, why not?
Thank you.
As you come, you know.
You can't leave 5,000 million viewers in suspense and geezer goes to Broadmoor. He ain't going to tell you why. Let's go.
In 2017,
gotta have this.
In 2017, 2017, I went away for a knife crime.
Did you?
I had a rouse dramas with other lads, and
What? Speak up. Okay.
So it's difficult because obviously I'm anti-knife, and this one, it still haunts me. So I got tagged up, and I used a knife, and I used a knife on another guy.
Okay, stop.
Yeah.
He's gone too fast, isn't he? He's watching you saying Bolt. We need him to slow down. Right. What happened? So you're in the street, town, fam, what? Where are you?
In 2007, I went away for a knife.
Yeah, where are you? No, when the knife crime happened. Are you in town?
In the seafront, yeah.
Town.
Town.
Right, so we're in town, yeah, go on.
I'm in town. I got jumped by a bunch of guys.
So you got jumped, how many?
About 7, 8, yeah. I got jumped. As I was getting jumped, one young lad reached out to one of my pals down the promenade. It was airborne, so there's loads of fucking people. And that, yeah, you know, airborne. I don't know if they're airborne. So down the seafront, they got the red arrows and all that.
Oh yeah,
so there thousands of people down the beach and all that. Now I had dramas with a bunch of lads from another area and that. Yeah.
Do you know him? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't name them.
No, don't need to name them. Wait, it's ongoing.
Yeah. So there's been an ongoing problem. Now I'm pissed off, and I've actually strolled into a bunch of lads. I've gone missing from my lads. I'm one of them. I drink, I go wonders.
Oh, so you're drunk. So wait, so you're lagging.
I'm lagging.
So wait, are you one of these who's have a drink and goes mad off key?
I was 16, 17. So I mean, I was always, from like 15 to 17, I was just getting it all the time. Violence, it was pure violence. So anyway, I'm sort of lagging.
Stop, everybody! Stop, we did it again. So you'll say you're 6, 7, you're getting nicked. So how many times have you been nicked before this happened? God, this is blinder, isn't it?
A lot, mate, you know what I mean? A lot, I don't know.
I wonder he was in Broadmoor.
We're talking double figures. I don't know.
Wait, I've only been nicked 3 times. You have your nut, you loon.
Oh, mate, I don't mean more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
from 15 to 17, mate, I was getting it regular, getting bails. Yeah.
Just off key.
It was off key, mate. I lost someone very close to me. It sent me off.
Got you.
So, and then. So anyway, but out of all the thousands of people on the beach, I've strolled into a fucking bunch of lads I've got issues with.
Right.
One of them's twatted me, he's gone in, bam, 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 and they've all started running off. I haven't even gone down. Okay. Is that all they're doing? Like, I'm a bit pissed anyway.
Yeah.
Is that all they're doing? It happens, one of our younger mates has seen what's happening, run down to where all my pals and that were. Fucking Ben's getting done. They've all ran down. As he ran down, my mate, he handed me a knife.
I did. Kitchen knife, small knife, carving knife.
It was a big kitchen.
Big carving knife, yeah.
It was a big kitchen.
Look like Freddy Krueger. It looked like Freddy Krueger, you know. Go on.
It was a big kitchen knife.
Go on.
So as they're running, obviously, you know, like bigger fellas can't run faster than smaller fellas. So the bigger fella that was with him, who did, you know, would give me a kick in the head, who was trying to like volley me and all that. When I was up against the side, he did volley me and all that. And anyway, I kicked his legs. So as we were chasing, all his mates have gone. And I kicked his legs. He's gone down. I went to stab him in the back. I went to stab him in the face. I slashed his hand. So,
Ben, when you tell that story, to me, it still looks like you're, still like you regret it, or you got. I can feel the sorrow in you.
I do.
I can feel you just changed in that moment, and you know, I'm serious now. Since we've been on here and chatting, I've seen that for the first time. You kind of changed. You really. I mean, that you really felt that, didn't you? I mean, it really hurt you. What was it? Something? Why did that one hurt you, Ben?
I think it's just now. I think with everything that sort of madness I was going through in that fish, you know what I mean? At the time, it's only like when I went into the mental hospitals, like Broadmoor. After Broadmoor, I went to a place called Ashworth, and I did the therapy. I am on Squish. I haven't jumped, and I did the therapy in that. And then when you sort of learn about it, ripple effect and that shit, because I lacked a lot of empathy.
Why did you go to mental hospital, Ben? Mm-hmm. Why did you go to mental hospital?
When I was in the prison systems, I was too much for them to handle.
Too much for them to handle?
Winchester prison roof. I did the roofs in Winchester prison.
On the roof?
I did the Winchester prison roof. You know,
Why did you go on the roof?
Well, I was in the block anyway. I had dramas. Obviously, I got slashed. Someone else got slashed. I can't get into that.
How the fuck did you get on the roof?
You're lying, son.
I thought I'd come here to tell a story. He's on the fucking roof.
I did Winchester roof.
Let's have it.
So basically, I've just done this in the first. So
basically, on the roof.
I'm in the block now. I'm in the block in Winchester. I'm in the block in
now,
Winchester.
let's get this right. I've got to get it right. Let's hold it one second. Let's just get it right because I want your view. So when you say the block, normally most blocks I know, except are down in the basement. So are you down in the basement or are you near the top?
Winchester's separate. It's not part of the prison. They got their separate. But when Winchester, you go down, you got the block, then you go under, innit? Yeah?
So that's what I'm saying. So how the fuck you get to the roof?
Because you see that you got the.
No, I don't know.
No, I'll tell you. No, you got the cage. So anyway, So they was using a bit. As
Don't tell us in the cages. Don't tell me.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. You never did block.
Mate, there
You
are different
fucking must
types.
have
Of course, I've done block. But what I mean, there are different kinds of blocks, isn't there? So tell us. So you go through. You got a cage every year. Go on.
Yeah. So we go through. You got the wood. You got like the metal fencing on top. Yeah. It's in the six. So basically, anyway. So you see like when there's a pipe.
What's he laughing for?
Because how it is. They got the metal gate. You know, like the workers and that. So you're not just going to have a solid fence. It's going to be there's a gate bit.
Yeah.
They've had work. So I've been in this block for a bit now, anyway. And then, you know, when you walk round, you notice everything. You know, you just walk around, you notice everything. You know,
you've got nothing else to do.
You always walk in the same way. The same way.
Well, I used to train on the yard, but crack on.
And I just noticed the gate. I don't know what the gate, the door, the fence, the fucking whatever you call it, the hatch, whatever.
Okay, but when you noticed it, was it locked or open?
It was open.
Okay,
because you got the
right.
But then there's a padlock in it, all some sort of lock.
Yeah, so someone's working there that day.
The workers were there that day, doing
right.
what they were doing for the thing. They forgot to fucking
okay, bang it, right. Yeah, makes sense
I walked round and I've seen it. I thought, no way. So I walked round again, I'm thinking, so I'm walking round, because you know sometimes where you got the fence, when you're on the block, sometimes the screws just come out a little bit, just to see, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You ain't doing anything fucking whatever. And so I didn't want to stand there looking up there like that. In case screw comes, we look, you know what I mean? I'd bring it on top. So I'm walking around and around anyway. I thought, I'm going to do this. I thought, if I go out, I'm going to look like a cunt, but I thought I'm going to do this anyway. So as I was going round, bam, up the pipe, through the fence, up I gone, straight up, and there I was. Up on the fucking roof.
You said you're going to do it, and I respect that, yeah, but why did you do it?
It was July. I go back to a cell with 23-hour banger.
Yeah.
I could be on the roof. I found my peace in chaos.
Yeah.
Do you know what? My escapism was releasing all these dramas and all that. I found peace in it.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? You know I love Ben, yeah? Because Ben like me. You know the saying I have on my line? I'm the keeper of the dead man's Bible. And that's the same here. Where all the rules of society are thrown, tossed and washed away. Okay? I'm the man riding on the pavement, sitting on a train, walking the pavement, sitting on a bus, looking at all you people thinking, I wonder what it's like to be you. To wake, to work, to eat, to sleep, to dream, to die. Pain became my friend, happiness my slave. Love can't hurt me, money can't buy me, it's those that hate me. Welcome to Psychopaths Anonymous.
That's a right, that one.
You've got a pin there, you've just joined Psychopaths Anonymous, new member.
I thought I'd done that with the broad. But that's what it was. That's what it was. All these dramas I was having with these people. Like, I was making my time worse. I was making my sentence worse. Like, the charges were building up. But it's like, it was my release. All these havocs, it was my release, Fish. It was my release.
Right, it's mad. This is going here. This is a pucker podcast. Cause isn't it crazy now, yeah? Mine was different, but I kind of say, because what I'm doing, I'm fighting my homosexuality and gay. So I'm trying to die or do 100 years. I'm trying to do everything possible to die 100 years. That way, I could, like, save my fears. So I'm doing everything to get it. Yeah? The only fucking problem was I was so good at what I fucking done, I never got fucking caught. Fucking bollocks. People need to know. I'm called London's greatest gangster, but to be honest with you, I always say I'm not a gangster. To me, the only gangster I've always said is the main gangster is Boris Johnson or Tony Blair. I mean, you know, when you can go through red traffic lights, have MP5s wrapped around you, send them through anyone's door, and press your fingers, that's a gangster. So unless you've got any of that, you're nothing. You understand? So that's what I've always said. But I love this cast because this is about. We're now showing you the normality, the real, we're just two normal people that have out of their pain, because really your life, from what I can see, is the same as mine. It was born out of pain, innit? And we
I acted out of my trauma.
Yeah.
And that's what people say, you know, I carried a label and all that, and the things that I did, It all comes from that emotional pain. I think that's why now it makes me putting this content out. That's why I like working with the kids in your life, because I know once you do certain things, that shit carries with you. Or if you've been through certain things, it carries with you. Until you do, like for me, I did the therapy inside, amazing psychologist Jenny Kilcorny in Ashworth, who sat there with me, helped me work empathy, helped me the ripple effects. I talk about the ripple effect so much.
I know about the ripple, yeah.
And when I started learning about that action, the things that we say that goes on and affects people, that's why now I'm on a mad fucking mission, Fish, to try and create positive ripple effects.
What mission are you on? When you say positive ripple effect, what are you telling us?
Alright. So I had a message the other day on Instagram, yeah, and I posted, and I get so many fucking messages.
Okay.
But there's one message I posted. I never post a message, and he said he was at work, and his one colleague's doing his nutting, yeah. And he said to himself, Monday, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do him. He decided in his head, after the weekend, he's going to go on Monday, he's going to go into work and he's going to beat the shit out of someone he's working with.
Yeah.
He said, over the weekend, he saw one of my podcasts. He messaged me and said, Ben, you got me thinking twice.
Good.
Ripple effect.
Yeah.
You know, there's a little girl's life that I'm trying to save at the minute, little Nelly Rose, and I've been rubbing people up the wrong way, and I've been a bit controversial. I know there's been a lot going on between me and Dan G and all this at the minute. Because... I've got to finish this. I will burn every fucking bridge. I will fucking do whatever I can, because I know my intention is pure. I've got to get we've got to try and get 25 before June to save this little girl's life. And I will burn my bridges. I will do anything I fucking can. Because on my back, Fish, there's redemption. If I can come from all the mad shit I've done, and do something fucking good like that.
Okay. You just mentioned Darren G. When you say, have you had an argument with Darren G?
Yeah, you know, we was meant to have a charity fight. Listen, there's a lot of wires crossed. We went live last night. It's a big art. There's been things going back and forth between us. We've ironed it out. We have ironed it out because I think, and we both say it's coming away from the message. I need to stand more positive.
I think I've noticed a lot of podcasts. I mean, since I've got in the game, I've seen a lot of people back and forth and shouting matches and at each other. For me personally, I think when we all have this statement, do you know what, podcasters? I think we all need to look at ourselves a little bit here, and we got to understand that we are trying to help the public, and not just the public. I'm talking about adults and kids as well. Everybody. I mean, we're all in life now is very stressful. We're having a lot of troubles, and I think we need to start understanding it's not always about us. Do you know what I mean? We've got to understand and put ourselves in the other person's shoes. And I think with a lot of shouting and, you know, using the podcast to vent anger and hatred, and I think that kind of it puts us in a bad light. Not you know, just in a bad light in the public, and it makes people therefore. That's why you've got to be very careful when you mention the word gangster and all that, because then people look at you and think, well, that's really what gangsters are about. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it's like we've been here. Look, all this podcast for me is just to try and help people have a laugh, have the crack, and have the joke. I'm not interested in shouting and slagging, and as you can see from Ben here, he's not either. And I think we can get drawn into it sometimes. So it is, you know, it's difficult.
And I've only been out 6 months, and I'm still learning.
You've only been out 6 months?
July, I got all to 7 months now. I got out July, and I'm still
out from
learning. The medium secure.
Where?
Medium secure.
Where's that?
I'm under licence.
Yeah, what's medium secure?
So basically, in the mental health system.
Hate him. He never finishes it off.
So I have to be fucking because.
Oh, shut up.
No, with my probation, with everything I'm allowed to talk about, I can talk facts. But why I'm under Sussex partnership, I can't mention.
Mate, can I just?
So when I tell I'm in the mental health system, it's like no dispersal.
Thank you.
So you've got the eye secure.
Right, yeah.
You got the eye secure. You got medium secure. You got low secure. So that's how it works. When you get in the eye.
Okay, so let me get in there. This is getting good in here. Silence of the lambs! Silence of the lambs!
Okay,
Silence of the lambs! I'm going to be a boss next time. listen, yeah, listen. So listen, you've been out 6 months. This is fucking blind. He's got a better story than me. So you've been out 6 months.
6 months.
Let me ask you. Okay. So how long did you do before you got out?
10 years. So I went away.
10 years.
10 years. 10 straight years. 10
So you've
straight
I've done 10 last. So you've done 10 years.
10 straight years.
I got out 4 years, and you've only been out 6 months.
Yeah.
Blinder. Okay, here we go. Enjoy the show. Easy on the mic and mine. How you go, Ben Hatchett. So you got out 6 months. Right, Ben. Been in all these institutions. What was it like for you coming out, Ben? With the world it is today. Come on, kid.
Fuck, you know, it's different. It's a different world. The technology now.
Yeah, come on.
You got to remember, I went away young. I'm a man now. You know what I mean? I'm 31 now.
Okay, good. Oh, yeah, same as my baby Tom. Yeah, good.
So I'm a man now. The phones, gadgets are different. The way people are, the way society is different now.
So what have you done to try and adapt? So you come out, there's a new world, new buildings, new technology. Same for me. Yeah. As all these people are moving, how have you managed? How are you managing to cope? How are you managing to?
Because I found purpose. When I wrote that book when I was away, Law of Attraction.
You got a book?
Yeah, I got a book out.
What's the book called? Where's the book?
You could have done your fucking research for me before you come here, brother.
I don't do research.
Fucking hell.
Listen, what book? Where's the book? Where is it?
On Amazon, it's on Amazon Prime.
Say the name for the book.
Ben Hatchett, Law of Attraction. So I wrote this.
Ben Hatchett, Law of Attraction. He said it's so fast, you don't know what you're talking about. Go on, crack it.
So I wrote this book when I was away. When I had my moment, I had my change moment, it's crazy. I made a deal with the universe and I stuck to that deal. And so coming out, I had purpose. I had the bruv.
No.
Listen, man, let me say. So I had this vision in my head.
A vision?
I had a mad vision in my head. I wrote these goals down. I swear, bruv, I wrote this fucking crazy. And I'm an excellent patient. I know. No. But I'm ticking these goals off, Fish.
Yeah, go on.
Because when I
So you had goals?
I had goals.
Gangster, go on.
So I had these goals, and literally since the day one I've been getting out, getting filmed by Lee Galvin for the Amazon Prime movie. It was meant to be leading up to my debut.
You're doing a movie?
Yeah, the documentary film.
This is good.
I'm doing film for obviously the Amazon Prime film. Leading up
I was on Crime Watch. No. It's in the papers now.
Okay. So leading up to my fight, and then so leading up to my fight, and it's a redemption story. I'm trying to show people what it's like. It's actually going to be a reality sort of documentary.
I understand that. Great one. But Ben, I need you to. Okay, so there we are, viewers. We're all outside. We live normal life. Everything's going sweet. But I've done 10.5 years, and what I'm trying to get from you is, when you come out, wasn't it like, wow, like, didn't it? Like, okay, when I come out, I'm like, I'm like a kid. That's the first thing you've got to understand. So I was like the Facebook and the Instagram and the phone. I was like mesmerised. Even though we had him in prison, I was lucky because. Shh, don't tell no one. Did I mean prison? Don't tell no one. Secret. But anyway, it's a secret. What's wrong with you? So, like, the Facebook and all that, and
Instagram.
Everything like. Come on, how did you adapt?
Well, I'm still adapting to it now. I've been out 6 months and my platform's gone fucking...
Yeah, but like...
Do you know what I mean? Thousands of followers.
That's what I'm trying to say. But hold on, stop. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm trying to say to him. You've come out, we've got a lovely setup here, beautiful. But like, what about life? Did you? Are you running? You walk?
I'm running.
Are you finding it easy for emails and things like this? Have you got adapted to all this? What I'm asking.
I'm adapting. I'm still adapting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
The thing, I come out. I went straight into a relationship.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, and unfortunately, it hasn't worked out.
Stop. Who did you go to relationship with?
I don't know. I can't
remember. No, not necessarily mentioning. What I'm saying is, you went in straight away after 10 years.
Yeah, after 10 years, I got straight into a relationship when I come out.
That must have been mad.
It was I should, I did.
No, it's okay. Don't go deep.
No. At the end of the day, and I out of feelings because.
No. What I'm going to say, I'm coming. Just, but what I mean is. After 10 years of being on your own and to get into a relationship and to come out of that and tell what that must be crazy. That must
And that's why it ended. It wasn't. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And I'm still adjusting now. And I'm still making mistakes. But I'm
not in a relationship. And people say, but Do you know what? I've been out 4 years, right? But I'm still on weekly visits to probation after 4 years out. They think I'm a loon. But anyway, weekly visits after 4 years out. Take the piss. But anyway, yeah, they are. But anyway, what I mean is, I think what he done now is mad because I couldn't do a relationship because I'm still reintegrating. Do you know what? I'll give him his respect, yeah? And the reason I'll give him his respect, to come out after 10 and a half years, yeah? 6 months out and start up your own podcast channel. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you now, if anyone had any doubts, he's a G, a proper gangs. Because that there is phenomenal. I mean, it has took me 4 years to find what I was looking for. And he's done it in 6 months. So it shows you, like, you know, how great and determined he was. But it is difficult. So, you know, handing that to you, I'm still reintegrating. I've got to be honest with you. You know, for the first 4 years, people saying to me, "Oh, Fish, you're only going to be out for 4 months. You're only going to be out for 6 years." I don't know why people said that because I've been nicked every 10 years. So I've been out 4, 6 to go. See you soon, boys. No, but what I'm saying is, to come out and do that, I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, with all the rest go. But, you know, I suppose maybe you live in Hastings, you say. So maybe is the town, is it small? Do you think you could survive? If you came out in London, do you reckon you would have?
No, probably not. With Hastings, I got a bit of support. I got my cousins and the woman I got in a relationship at the time was amazing. You know, so I had a bit of social sort of network. Now it's more lonely for me now. Now I have
lonely.
Yeah, bro. And this is the first. How the fuck are you getting this out of me? I'm not the one getting out of everyone else.
No. You know,
I'll be real.
You know why? This is why this podcast is so brilliant. Yeah, because all those people that know me will always say one thing. Tell you one thing. Ben, I'm lonely because the old school have gone. The old school ones have gone, so it's lonely. It's like, do you know what? You can't meet someone, yeah, like me and you are now, and talk because other people don't know what to talk. But you understand they haven't had that.
And I still feel alien, like so I am still institutionalised. But this is my purpose, knowing that I'm getting people thinking about doing something different in life. I've got kids getting thinking about going into boxing. I keep throwing that word inclination about getting people to like chase your dreams, visions. Bro, look what I'm doing after this. I've got tattooed on my PTW, prove me wrong. I'm showing people, bro, if you've got a goal, you've got a dream, you've got a vision, you can fucking do it. And that's what I'm showing people. I'm an ex-Broadmoor patient, bro.
Let me
it's
ask
paper you, crazy, and I'm doing all this shit, bro.
Let me ask you a brilliant question now. Are you... You know, that's one thing I always say to people, yeah. I think it's funny. People chat to me about prison and you know, mental health, same thing. And I always say to people, prison only hurts those people who don't get nothing from it. Prison only hurts those people who lose everything and can't get it back again. Other than that, prison is a learning curve. And so what you're saying is, those 10 years that you spent, are you saying that you've used them wisely and it's made you? That's what you're telling me today.
Towards the end, when I went out of segregation, I picked up that book, that Law of Attraction. When I found something that
hold on, okay. Say that again nice and clear. Towards the end, when you picked up what book?
I picked up a book called The Key to Living Law of Attraction.
The key?
The key to living Law of Attraction.
Okay, go on. What's that? Go on.
So it's all about energies and about you are what you think, you attract what you put out there, your thoughts. And it got me thinking, that's where like the ripple effects. I had it with the therapy, the psychologist, and my psychologist said to me about what are you fighting for? And then I just thought, look, I'm a stereotypical type, coming from care, and I'm in prison, I'm in trouble, and in this book it tells you write your goals down, like it helps you sort of figure out what makes you burn. And I started writing these goals down, and I made a deal with the universe. I swear, I said to the universe, you let me achieve these goals, I'll never hurt another human being again in my life physically. Apart from the boxing, it's a sport. but I mean in a malicious way, in a violent way, and I will do my best to try and build people up. The world out there, bro, just wants to put people down. It does, it's suppressing. And there's so many fucking negative glamorizations of bullshit out there. There's not many people being real, and I want to try and do something I haven't done, bro. Like, this is deep, this is crazy. I know
No, it's not crazy, it's not crazy, it's not deep at all. It's not crazy, it's not deep at all. Yeah? It's crazy and deep if you're normal and you're talking to me, it's like I'm off key. It's not crazy. So now, the great thing, I loved what you just said there. You just said a sentence there. You said, I made a deal with the universe that I wouldn't hurt no one else. So now, if you never made that deal, are you saying you might have slid back down that path and hurt someone else? Do you understand?
I'd still be on that. There was never, and I'll go back to that path. I'll still be on that path. That deal led me down this path. Do you get what I'm saying? I was on that path.
So really, what you've done, you made a deal with yourself. Really, that's really who you made it with, and that deal has managed to take you away from the old person and your old thoughts and mind that you was. Now that is absolutely class, and that just shows you. And I'm going to be honest with you, I love this kid today because, as I told you, I'm keeping the dead man's Bible, and I fucking mean all the rules and stuff. But today, do you know what people always say? I'll read this, read that, and all that, yeah? And I don't ever listen. I'm just psychopath. I do what I've got to do. Everyone who knows me says, they just know I do what I've got to do. I don't give a shit. I live to die. If I'm not close to that death once a day, I'm bored. So today, and I'm going to laugh on this podcast, but today I'm going to take down the name of this book. And I'm going to make a deal with the universe and I'm going to write down my goals because I've never done that before. Even on my podcast, never. Even on my podcast, yeah. If you notice my podcast, I never do a script. I never write. I never research anyone. I go there, but I think it's more interesting.
That's how I'm doing.
I grab more. That's what I like. Yeah, you read my book. Yeah, just research. I don't need to. He's here. I get all the questions on stage.
No, I think. Go on.
But yeah, no, it's blind, and this is what I'm saying. People have got to understand. It doesn't matter about your title. Gangster, crime.
The Broadmoor Brawler.
We are who?
The Broadmoor Brawler. I joke.
I've
said it on Instagram. I've seen it on Instagram a few times, isn't it?
Fucking Silence of the Lambs. But what I'm trying to say is, before we finish up, I'm happy with this podcast. This podcast is different from all the rest of them, but you know what? It's good because we're just showing you today. I hope today's podcast is showing everybody out there. We're just normal people. We're not anything special. We're not no better than you or anybody else. We're just normal people that our decisions and choices have took us down funny routes of life. And it's funny how our stories are right, like alongside each other, because really, the two gentlemen you see sitting here, their stories are only born out of pain and disappointment. That's really why we're around this table today, and we've come to share our story. We're both born out of pain and disappointment. Don't you get it? If you listen to your story, that's what's brought us to where we are.
That's why I thought this podcast would be different. I didn't want to do, you tell me that live. I thought me and you coming together, I think, I knew we were connected, I knew we would talk, and I knew there was going to be a powerful message behind today.
Do you know what I love about it? See, the thing is, everyone else interviews you, and you know, everyone else interviews him, and I came down for him to interview him, but it's such it's so relaxed here. It's nice to actually be down to earth and crash and let the public actually see you and what's really brought us here, and that's why I like it. And some people can say, oh, Ben, he's not a gangster, Ben's not this, that, but Ben never said he was. And what I'm trying to show you is, I'm not really a gangster. I'm just that kind of guy that does what I have to do when we have to do it, if we have to do it. Like, if we're in trouble, we've got to do what we've got to do. And it's the same with Ben. And so all you people out there need to understand that when you see us two, well, especially him, I mean, you've got to understand, I mean, I'm still, in a way, I've still been lost. I'm going to be honest. I come out, I'm still been lost. I haven't got to where he is of writing goals. I haven't made a deal with the universe, so which I'm going to do now and find the book. But I'm still leading that mad, crazy, chaotic, like, you know, if I die, I die, you know, who cares, you know. So for me to meet him today, he's kind of pulled me back, and it's nice to see someone who's not flash, who's not, that's what I mean, up their own arse, who's not portraying or pretending to be what they ain't. Nor am I. It's just, we're just normal people, and you need to take what he said. You know what? You need to take what he said very seriously, because he's been out 6 months and look what he's achieved. It took me 4.5 years to find the platform I was looking for, and that just gives you the show and the strength of the guy. And we're just normal people, and we just hope that when you look at this podcast and you see us move on, and that you take something from it, some intelligence and good knowledge, and know that both of us sitting here are not here to condone and glamorise and violence and guns.
No.
Anyway, look, anyone can pull a trigger. It's not hard. Anyone can stab you. It ain't hard. Listen, mate, 2-year-old baby can poke you out. It's not hard. Who can do the bird? Yeah, who can take the pain? Who can stop the self-harming? Who stops themselves from suicide? Because that's where they all lead. And if we're just showing you, sitting around this table now, and you look at both of us together, just two normal bods, mate. We was born from the same, from women, the same women. We've just lived life. Two normal bonds. You listen to the kid, and you listen to him, mate. There are thousands and millions of people that could be sitting around this table now, coming from the same town. So I hope you respect him for what he is and what he's saying, and I hope you respect the fact that he's only been out 6 months. That's my boyfriend. He's a dog. But so I hope you take this, because now I'm going to definitely come back. I've got to meet him again, because we haven't even...
We're going to do a part 2 for your show.
Yeah, go on.
And Fish, I think what I want to get you today, that honestly way you come down, I think the way you're talking, all that, look, and I think you've shown a bit more, you know what I mean? You've got that charismatic and all that, like, you speak from the heart, honestly, man.
I love it.
And I think...
You go.
They're saying, and knowing that, and I'm taken away, and knowing that you're going to go and sit and do some goals and that means so much, and that's the ripple effect, and that's going to be the part 2. I think the part 2 on your show, everyone's going to know that these goals that come up with.
Just don't ask me to read the book.
Fish, my bro, thank you.
It's gangster,
so
no, it's wicked. Well, yeah, gangster. Where's my baby Tom? Tom, he's just as handsome as you. I tell you, Tom, I swear, Tommy, I don't know what to do, kid. It's like, oh, man.